Welcome ladies and gentlemen, my name is BroGrizzy and today we're checking out the Mirror's Edge Catalyst Beta. I uploaded a video a couple of days ago of my first kind of 10 minutes of gameplay, but I wanted to give my kind of first impressions, a bit of a running commentary of what you're seeing. On screen here we've got the footage that I captured from the beta that ran only from a few weeks ago. The game's not actually out to the beginning of June, but thankfully I've got it a little bit early, which is great. EA and DICE have been kind enough to remind us that it is a beta with this kind of ugly watermark that keeps blinking around the screen, so hopefully that's not too intrusive to your viewing experience, but otherwise, you know, you get to kind of check out my first impressions and what it looks like. And to summarise the first impressions, yeah, it's really good. It's really smooth. It's really Mirror's Edge was always about kind of the swift movement and the kind of the quick, fluid transitions of kind of free runners / parkour type people. Faith Connors is the returning protagonist. She's this kind of moody, mysterious kind of rebel, and so far from what I've played with Catalyst, I can kind of tell you that it feels a lot more story kind of orientated. Already there are a lot more characters introduced into the gameplay. There's a lot more kind of dialogue, conversations, just chatter basically. In the first game released back in 2008, almost 10 years ago now, it seemed very much, it was very much focused on the gameplay, moving from one rooftop to another rooftop, as cool as it could look or as cool as it could be, and otherwise, yeah, it didn't really feel too much story based. I mean, there was always a story there, but I certainly wasn't perhaps captured in what could have been something really great. But it's great to see that EA and DICE have put their heads together, and with this new iteration or this new reboot of the series, that they've brought the story forward, and they've certainly reintroduced some characters and worked around the lore and the city of Glass, it's called, and yeah, going forward it looks pretty damn promising. Whether or not it leads open for more sequels and like potentially a whole series, we'll have to find out. As I said, the beta gameplay, it doesn't give the whole story just yet, or the whole game, so it's hard to say whether or not, you know, how the kind of story, if it leads potentially into a kind of sequel. But otherwise, yeah, I mean, this was mainly just focused on the gameplay elements, and I can definitely tell you that they are brilliant. They are really nice. Sometimes the kind of on-screen instructions may seem a little bit vague, but after a couple of tries of perhaps jumping onto a certain ledge or grabbing hold of a certain pipe here or there, once you've kind of given it a few tries, you might have missed it a few times. You go back, you try again, and you figure it out after a while. The combat makes a welcomed return as well. It basically just makes you feel like a badass, which is great, which is really cool. Faith Connors is not necessarily the most, I guess, intimidating from appearances, but she certainly can put up a fight, as we see here. Brilliant stuff. Although I can dispose of him pretty well, this door seemed to be a bit of a challenge for me when I was playing through. Again, I took a few steps back, found that's the instruction, it was the right trigger I needed to press, and went bursting through. Like I say, the game's not released until June the 7th for North America, and I believe it's June the 9th for the kind of European areas. But otherwise, yeah, it's all really exciting. We've got some really good, promising things coming up in the future, and certainly Mirror's Edge Catalyst being one of them. And that's really it. There's nothing really else to say. Perhaps I should have prepared a bit more of a script for this, but I kind of wanted to give you a running commentary. This wasn't recorded live. I've got to say I did cheat a little bit. I've recorded the footage and I'm commentating over it now. I'm a bloke, so it doesn't really bode too well for me trying to play and commentate at the same time. But I'll get better at that, I'm sure. So coming to the end of this footage here, like I say, June 7th, watch out.